What's up, guys? Trevor here with eCommerce Paradise, and today I want to talk to you about how to do high-ticket dropshipping profitably. It's a hard business model to make it profitable because generally the margins are a bit lower, and with high ad spend costs and virtual assistant costs and software costs, it's hard to pull a net profit sometimes. So in this video, I just want to go over a few tips and ideas on how to do it profitably so you can actually do it long-term and make a decent income from doing it. So just a little bit about me. I've been doing high-ticket dropshipping since around 2010, 2011. I started my first store, and it was on a platform called eCreator, and I was selling like $200-300 products. And when I first started making sales, I was really happy. The net margin was maybe around 10-15%, but I didn't have to pay for any ads back then. It was all organic traffic, so I was able to keep that profit, and I was doing everything myself too. So besides the low amount of software fees and things like that, I was able to keep all the profits as personal income, and then split it between my partner and I. Now, after about 4 or 5 years of doing that, the business grew substantially, and we had to hire virtual assistants, and I started running ads, and we even opened a brick and mortar store, and so our costs went up substantially, as did our profits, but with our higher costs, it became difficult to pull a profit. And nowadays, the way we start new stores is we focus first and foremost on running ads in the very beginning. We don't wait for organic traffic because nowadays things are so much more competitive. So your costs are going to be higher nowadays when you want to start a high-ticket dropshipping business with ad spend, with software costs, and usually you want to just start with a VA right away so that you have somebody answering the phones all the time and closing sales and things like that when you're not available. A lot of people, when they first start, you have like a full-time job or something like that, or maybe you work remotely and you live in another country or something like that, and you're not going to be up US hours. So there's a lot of reasons why people hire VAs in the beginning before they've scaled. And you're just going to have to work those costs into your startup. Now, with that in mind, maybe the first 3 to 6 months of your business aren't going to be profitable months, or maybe the first 2 or 3 aren't going to be profitable. But usually once you get the ball rolling, once traffic starts coming in and you get retargeting audiences built, an email marketing list built, and you start really, getting referrals and things like that and reviews, then things will become profitable. So it usually takes 3 to 6 months for any store to start turning a net profit every month, is what I've found. And then beyond that, a year or two to really get to the point where it's pulling a generally even amount every single month that's sustainable. And what I've found is that after ad costs, after software expenses, after VA costs, you have to be making at least maybe, let's say, 30 to 50,000 in revenue per month to be break even on all those costs. And that just depends on your profit margins. So with high ticket dropshipping, you'll find that suppliers' profit margins are all over the place, and sometimes different products within a supplier can have profit margins that are vastly different as well. And it depends on a lot of different things, but the main thing that makes the biggest difference is the shipping fees. So when a supplier charges you shipping, that means that your profit margins are going to be substantially less than what the difference between the cost and the selling price is, right? So even if your gross margin, let's say between cost and selling price is like 30%, your shipping fees, if they end up being 10 or 20% of the entire product cost, then that's going to substantially deduct from that. Plus, you have to pay a 3 to 6% merchant fee. So there's definitely costs involved, and your margins can go low. But what your goal is with high ticket dropshipping is to find those suppliers and those particular products that have high margins and really focus on promoting those products. You have to find a good balance between best selling products, so products that sell really well, and products that have good margins, and also products that are quality products and have good shipping and don't get damaged in shipment and things like that, because that can cause other problems down the road too, like chargebacks and whatnot. But I think the main thing is that as long as you have good margins, after the shipping costs, or if their supplier doesn't charge shipping, then that's the most important thing. And then you'll have to look at your ad spend and how much it costs for you to acquire a customer. So, how much do you spend on ads for that particular brand and that particular product before you end up getting a sale on average? And then your cost per acquisition, and then you'll be able to calculate your KPIs and figure out exactly what your net profit's going to be, every month, and what your break-even amount with revenue is going to be. And just what I've found in general is 30 to 50,000, depending on profit. So if you have a really high margin niche, generally speaking, then you can usually break even with less revenue, like 30,000. The other thing that's that's interesting is that lines up with the upgrade capabilities with Shopify. So usually you go from basic Shopify to regular Shopify. It'll give you a little bit lower, merchant processing fees, and then you'll be able to do that. Just saving the money with the merchant processing fees pays for the amount of the upgrade. So right around $30,000 a month is sort of like a starting point. So you're break even on business, you're ready to scale and move forward. Now, scaling is best done by investing in content and backlinks and internal linking and site optimization, like SEO optimization. The Google ads are great, but once you've laid the foundation, you don't really need to do a whole lot of work from there. Okay, just besides adding your basic negative keywords to keep the Google Shopping ads running properly, and checking them on a daily or weekly basis to make sure that they're not getting messed up. There's no like weird generic keywords showing up on the products campaign, and vice versa. Okay, so, as far as Google ads go, yes, you can do retargeting. Sure, you can do retargeting on other platforms. Of course, you can do social media as well. With high ticket, generally speaking, you're going to find the customers. The low-hanging fruit is going to be customers through search engines like Google and Bing. So I'd definitely get those going first with the ads. And then organic rankings in those search engines as well. So backlinks and content. So that's the main thing. Good thing is there's some wonderful apps that use AI that make it easy for you to make really good quality content, and to also, it makes it easy to get backlinks as well. Just, basic guest post backlinks will be good enough on high DA sites. And you want to design them as if they are resource listicle, like a best product category, article, that kind of thing, is going to rank well. And then it's a high DA site, so it's going to link back to your site, and that's what you want. All right. So, to start off with, obviously, it's really important you find the right suppliers that match the high profit margins that you're looking for, that have really quality products, and fast shipping time and really good customer support. It's hard to find. A lot of suppliers are one or the other. They have best-selling products, but maybe they're lower margins, and they have bad support, or they have a lot of shipping damage issues, things like that. Or they're really high-margin suppliers, they're best sellers, all that, but there's something else going on. Maybe the customer support isn't so good, or the follow-up, whatever it is. So the suppliers are usually always going to have some issues. There's never a perfect supplier out there. But the best thing you can do is just have a plethora of suppliers to choose from. So what I recommend is usually looking to get 20 to 30 suppliers, maybe up to 40 or 50 at the most. But I wouldn't really go beyond that, because once you do, it's sort of hard to manage all those different catalogs of inventory and price updates and things like that are required to operate one of these businesses profitably. So 30 suppliers around that is about good. And usually you just want to extract who the best sellers are from your competitors, and then that way you'll know exactly which suppliers to focus on getting. And once you get them, their best selling products, and so which products to focus on optimizing, driving links to, and all that. Of course, this really depends on competitiveness as well. How many competitors are in your niche? It's going to be really difficult to rank organically. Is it going to cost a lot to get up to the top spot in the ads? If it is competitive, that means your cost per acquisition is going to be higher, and then that means your margins are going to be lower. So if you get into a competitive niche, try to figure out a way that you can be unique or different or better than your competitors. Otherwise, look for a less competitive niche. Okay. So also, when it comes to making really good margins, it really just depends on your conversion rate. I think your conversion rate has a lot to do with it. Because if your conversion rate is consistent around 0.5 to 1% or higher, you're going to do just fine, even if your margins are a little bit lower. But if your conversion rate is low, like 0.2%, 0.3%, that kind of range, it's going to be difficult, because you're going to spend a lot of money on ads and only a few sales. Now, if your margins are really high, that's going to offset the low conversion rate, obviously, and you still might be able to pull a decent, income from it. But what you really want is you want high margins and a high conversion rate. It's easier said than done, and especially for competitive niches, it can take a lot of time to get there and a lot of work. And that's definitely why you want to hire a VA, because you want to have somebody consistently working on your site, optimizing content, getting links for you, but on your site as well, you want to make sure you have all your conversion optimization things in place, like reviews, a expiring coupon code, a nice, clean, fast loading website, clear call to actions, financing available, all this stuff like that. And then, I think one of the main things you want to focus on too, of course, is really good sales and customer service. And you want to train your VA on this because if you get calls and people are interested, but at the end of the day, your VA isn't that great at closing sales and they lose the sale, then obviously your business isn't going to do very well. So what I would do definitely is learn sales yourself and then teach your VA how to do it. And then your VA will do it better. And then just check up on them regularly, have them record their own calls so that, you can provide feedback and stuff like that. Or use a phone service that records calls for you. As far as phone services go, I recommend Grasshopper. Grasshopper is a really good system. I use them myself and I like them. And if you're interested in signing up for Grasshopper or checking them out, just use my referral link at ecommerceparadise.com/grasshopper. All right. And, that's pretty much it, guys. I think there's a lot of things that you can do with this stuff, but those particular things I talked about are the things that are going to make or break your business. So there's a ton of things beyond this, but I mean, really, when you dive into it, those are the main things. So just focus on the profit margins, focus on good suppliers, and focus on driving targeted traffic, low hanging fruit, and getting those sales. And if you guys are looking for help, I have a few offers for you. I have a mini course and niches list that is free. You can go to ecommerceparadise.com/niches to get that. I have a high ticket dropshipping masterclass, which is a full course. It's for beginners. It's for advanced people as well. It's got everything from start to finish, and it's really, really good and laid out cleanly. So go check it out, ecommerceparadise.com/masterclass. And at the moment, I'm offering 20% off. Coupon code is Action Taker. So just enter that and check out. All right, then if you're looking to get a done-for-you service where we build your entire store for you, it's going to cost a little bit more money, but it's going to save you a whole lot of time and hassle. Anyway, just go check it out. It's a really good service. ecommerceparadise.com/turnkey. You can sign up for a call and get on the phone, and we'll talk to you about your goals and see if we can come up with a package that matches your budget. All right, and then I also offer ad management services. You can go check that out at ecommerceparadise.com/ads. I offer SEO optimization, ecommerceparadise.com/SEO. I offer a virtual assistant recruiting and training service, so ecommerceparadise.com/VA, and private coaching as well. So ecommerceparadise.com/coaching. All those offers are things that I know and I've experienced and done myself, and I provide the services myself with the help of my team. So if you want basically help from somebody who's got experience in high ticket dropshipping, not just some random agency that helps other types of businesses and sort of applies the same things to high ticket dropshipping, I'm the one to go with because I've actually got the specialized knowledge that it takes. So, check it out. ecommerceparadise.com is the website. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.